All right, let's just dive right in. Forget the flying cars, forget the robot butlers. Today, we're talking about a brilliantly dark satire called The Wetsons. It's a story that takes a familiar, futuristic family and just plunges them deep into a corrupt underwater world that, get this, they actually helped create. So, picture this. It's the year 2162, and we're in a city called Aquapolis. Now, the language here is just perfect. It paints this picture of a gorgeous, glittering utopia, right? But listen to those last few words, the desperation of a drowned dream. That one line, that's the whole story in a nutshell. It tells you everything you need to know. On the surface, it's a paradise. But underneath it all, it is absolutely rotting from the inside out.
Okay, first up, sunken century 22. Let's get our feet wet, so to speak, in the world of Aquapolis and meet the family at the very center of all this decay.
And here they are, the Wetsons. To the public, they are these icons of progress, the brilliant minds keeping the whole city from collapsing. But what we're going to do in this explainer is peel back that shiny facade and ask the big question. Are they really the saviors, or are they secretly engineering the city's downfall for their own twisted benefit?
Moving on to our second section, the architects of apocalypse. It's time to meet the two people who kicked this whole thing off, George and Jane Wetson, the patriarch and matriarch who built this entire underwater empire on a foundation of pure deceit. You know, this slide really lays out their whole scheme perfectly. It's like a two-pronged attack. You've got George, the celebrated engineer, who's out there secretly building flaws into the city's infrastructure. Why? So there's a constant stream of essential repair contracts that just so happen to line his own pockets. And then you've got Jane. She's poisoning the city from the inside, using her fancy charity events as a front to funnel money to her friends, all while distracting everyone from the literal cracks forming in their world. And this just tells you everything about George's mindset. He's not some cackling villain, you know? He's so much worse. He's casual about it. When he decides to flood the city's slums, he just shrugs it off like it's a natural thing, a little ebb and flow. The fact that he's so nonchalant about it, that's what's really terrifying. Jane is every bit as cynical, but, you know, she adds a little glamour to it. For her, society collapsing isn't some big tragedy, it's just the next big trend. It's an evolutionary step. And that worldview lets her justify literally any horrible thing she does, framing total destruction as something that's not just unavoidable, but actually kind of fashionable. So, with parents like that, you have to wonder, what about the kids? Well, in Section 3, we're going to see how Judy and Elroy Wetson have taken their parents' brand of deceit and given it a 22nd century upgrade. So meet Judy. She's the family's, for lack of a better term, digital dagger. She doesn't build leaky domes, she builds fake stories that go viral. And every single one of her online hits has a dark purpose. Those cool subsurfing videos? Yeah, that's just a cover for a toxic spill. That fun challenge filter? It's a way to make deadly riots over food and water seem like a game. She uses the language and the tools of her generation to tear society apart, all while funding our schemes by literally selling watered-down air to the city. In this quote, this pretty much sums up her entire reason for being. It's not just about causing chaos, it's about getting famous from it. Her endgame is to be the #1 influencer of the apocalypse, live streaming the end of the world for likes and subs, all from the safety of her luxury yacht. And then we have Elroy, the boy genius. What's so wild is how methodical he is. He doesn't just have accidents, he engineers them, step by step. First, he comes up with some innocent-looking toy. Then, he secretly turns it into a weapon. Then, he unleashes it on the city as playtime. And the chaos that follows, you know, a citywide blackout, a few explosions, creates a problem that his family's company is perfectly ready to solve for a very, very high price. But here's the thing with Elroy, the little twist. Unlike the rest of his family, there's a little something still there, a flicker of a conscience. He seems to be the only one who actually gets the real human cost of his family's so-called games, and that makes him the one true wildcard in their whole destructive plan. Now get this, the Wetsons' corruption is so deep, so total, that it doesn't even stop with the people in the family. It's seeped into their loyal pet, Astro, and even their household robot, Rosie. Yeah, just forget about the lovable, goofy family dog. This version of Astro is a straight-up bioengineered monster. He's not playing fetch, he's out there shredding evidence, scaring off business rivals, and even creating fake food shortages on command. He's a living, breathing weapon of corporate sabotage. And Rosie, the classic robot housekeeper, well, she's the silent witness to all of it and a quiet accomplice. I mean, while she's polishing the furniture, she's also filing away blackmail, deleting incriminating files, and even microdosing the family's meals to keep them sharp. But deep down in her ancient code, there's a glitch, a little fragment of a warning from the past, almost like a ghost in the machine, hinting that this web they're weaving will eventually trap them too.
So you've got all these different schemes, all this sabotage happening at once. But how does it all come together? Well, in our final section, we're going to see the family's endgame, where all these little streams of chaos merge into one giant, catastrophic tidal wave.
And the stage for this grand finale is none other than the Grand Tidal Gala, the most exclusive party in the whole city. So while all the rich and powerful of Aquapolis are sipping champagne and patting each other on the back, the Wetsons are getting ready to pull the plug on everything.
And you can see right here how it all plays out, like a perfectly synchronized symphony of destruction. George unveils his big invention, which is secretly a kill switch for the city. Jane and Judy provide the cover, distracting everyone online and off. Then Elroy and Astro create the final accident that triggers the whole thing. And boom, complete citywide system failure. Domes crack, oxygen cuts out, it's the end.
So what was the whole point of all this destruction? Simple: disaster capitalism. As Aquapolis literally collapses and floods, the Wetsons just slip away into a secret bunker. See, they don't just want to survive the apocalypse they created, they want to own it. They plan to emerge from the rubble and build a brand new empire from the salvage. When you boil it all down, The Wetsons is this incredibly powerful cautionary tale. It's dark, it's funny, and honestly, it's pretty terrifying. It's a look at what can happen when power and technology are used without any conscience at all. And it leaves us with a really critical question, one that feels very relevant today. In a world that sometimes feels like it's drowning in deceit, when the systems we count on are being torn down by the very people supposed to protect them, who's left to build the lifeboats? It's definitely something to think about.